So here I've got my drum kit and I'm going to do a bit of recording today, but with a bit of a twist. So I've got a mic on the bass drum, mic on the snare, got two overheads here as a stereo pair, and I've got this mic here, which is what you're listening to this presentation on at the moment. So there are 5 tracks in record, but really I'm using 4 of them for drums. However, there is going to be a 5th microphone in the form of a smartphone. Now, don't discount voice memos on your Apple phone for recording drums, and I'm going to show you. So I'm going to play just a few bars, and then I'm going to play it back to you with all the mics, and then I'm going to start bringing in that smartphone mic. I think you'll find it makes really quite a difference. So I'm going to set it recording, and I'm going to try to sync it up by just giving some stick clicks as well, so I know how to drag it in. Okay, so there's my drum recording. I stopped voice memos and then I stopped the computer as well. And then I'm going to drag the voice memo in and you'll hear how it sounds. Here I am then sat at my control panel. As you can see on the computer screen here, you've got my drums. You can see the stick clicks in and then the drums themselves. Now the 5th track there, that was my narration mic, which I've muted. Now I need to bring in the mobile phone recording. So if I just go to Finder, let's have a look. Downloads, I think, probably. New recording 21. There we go. That's exactly what the file that it was. Memorable. So I'm going to drag that in just somewhere here. And then you can see that it's quite a lot louder than the other stuff. I'm just going to take the zoom down slightly so I've got a bit more of a chance of lining it up. Now I need to drag that with respect to the other tracks. So if I just go for the first stick click there, I can see whether I've got my track lined up or not. There we go. Now this track is going to be loud, so I'm just going to take it down a bit. In fact, I could just have a little look at reducing the gain so I've got a bit better control. Now it's important to have that fader at 0 dB, so you can have a negative gain. Let's try, I don't know, 24 dB or something like that. Now it means I can bring the volume up a bit further. So here is the drum recording then without any mobile phone. Okay, normal set of drums, fairly sort of rounded sound there, not too much sort of grit or mid-range. This is where the phone comes in. Now if I just keep going but with the phone track activated, that's the phone recording. I think the gain wise, I think I'll just bring it up a bit. I think I went a bit too mad. Let's try -12 instead. Now what that phone has done is to sort of brighten the kit up a bit. Sure, we could go into the overheads, and please don't assume for the moment that I'm comparing the microphone in a smartphone to a pair of very, very nice condenser mics, because that's not the point. Now, also, you can check whether your phone is going to be absolutely in sync with the overheads by putting a correlation meter, as I've got here, on the output, and then maybe just listening to the let's try one of the overheads and the vocal and the phone mic. Doesn't sound very in phase to me. Now, of course, we've got the compression to worry about as well. The fact that the phone is so compressed is another sort of, it's imbalanced. So, unbalanced really. Now, what I could try is also applying a phase invert to that phone. Let's see what happens with that. That's a bit better. Now, on most digital audio workstations, you will be able to drag one track with respect to the other by a sample even. So if I just go in a little bit heavier on the zoom here, I'm just going to try dragging it back slightly. Now, of course, I've got them panned hard left and right, which is why it doesn't sound very good at all at the moment, because I've essentially got two different microphones. But if I just unsolo this now, and I'm still going to keep the correlation meter open, I'm going to play it back and just see what happens to that phasing as I bring the phone mic in. So, it should be pretty good without the mic, without the phone. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely in phase. Let's see what happens if I bring the phone in. Now, regardless of where I pan that phone, it's the correlation meter still going, yeah, it's okay. Now, you can probably hear that everything has really remained in phase throughout that whole sort of performance, as it were. And actually, I've done this on a drum track where it's 5 minutes, and the voice memo into Logic, there's no real lag or sort of time change at all, which is weird because this isn't connected to the computer in any way in terms of things like the clocking and making sure the sample rate is right. Now, that's really this mic. I've just put it up there for a bit of crunch and a bit of compression. Now, this could make a difference if you're recording on an old multi-track recorder, which maybe doesn't have all the compressors built in. Of course, on Logic, you can do anything, but it's still a very worthwhile thing to do, especially on things like guitar amps as well. If you have a mic in front of a guitar amp and you have a mobile phone as well, it can really crunch that guitar up and compress it, wake it up in the mix a bit. So don't discount the humble smartphone. You never know when it might come in useful.